Left brain is financially frugal. Around our house, we spell that C-H-E-A-P. He's most generous if somebody else needs help, you know that. But on himself, he will not spend it. I booked my first speech in Hawaii. We were so excited. We had never been there. We were going to cash in points and stay at the Sheraton at Waikiki Beach an extra week. The only problem we had was that I was to leave home, go to Minnesota, make a speech, and fly to Honolulu from there. Left brain couldn't go with me that day. He had to fly from North Carolina, and he was going to bring the luggage. When will I learn? The client called the day that I was leaving and said, Jeannie, I forgot to get gifts for the spouses in our group. Is there any way that you can get 150 of your hardback books to Hawaii? I said, that's no problem. I tell you they're hardback only so you know how heavy this was. I said, my husband will bring them with the luggage. Hung up, and I said to Jerry, you got to take, with all this bags and stuff, you got to take these 7 cases of books with you to the airport. The airlines will ship them, but you're going to have to pay extra per box. Just pay whatever they want to get these books to Hawaii. He said, wait a minute, pay whatever they want? There's got to be a better way than that. And you understand with left brain that a better way is synonymous with a cheaper way. He worked on his better way all afternoon. He went up into the attic, got 6 of the biggest suitcases you have ever seen, no wheels on them. One of them was a trunk I took to Auburn with me as a freshman. He took the books out of carefully packaged cases, wrapped each book individually in t-shirts, shorts, underwear, shirts, packed all these bags back. And when he finished, all of our clothes were wadded up around these 150 books. And they're in these bags that he shut up that you couldn't even pick up. I just looked at him and I said, well, I wouldn't have done it that way, but I'll see you in Hawaii. He said, wait a minute. You're the one that travels all the time. How am I going to get these bags from the airport to the Sheraton at Waikiki Beach? I said, that's easy. You just somehow get them to the curb. You get in a cab and just say, take me to the Sheraton at Waikiki Beach. He said, how much you think that cab's going to cost? He had been over to the May Memorial Library, checked out a book on how to see Hawaii on $23.42 a day. I looked it up. Honolulu Airport to the hotels at Waikiki Beach, $20 plus a tip. $20. Got to be a better way than that. I said, well, honey, you could go on the shuttle, but I'm going to tell you from experience, you'll have to wait after that long trip for the shuttle to fill up. And then you're going to have to go to every hotel that somebody is stopping at. And you're going to get there 2 hours before I do, but it'll take you all that time to get what does the little book say about the shuttle? $8 be a smaller tip. He said, I bet there's a better way than that. I said, I bet I will just see you in Hawaii. The next day I gave my speech in Minnesota. I flew to Hawaii, got off with my one little rolling cart, went straight to the curb and got in a cab. Said, here's your $20 and here's your tip. Take me to the Sheraton at Waikiki Beach. I was checking in and I just asked the man behind the desk one question. Has my husband checked in yet? He backed up and raised his voice, I thought for the benefit of the bellman standing over there, and he turned into an Elvis announcer. Mr. Robertson is in the building. I thought that sounded a little bit strange, but I went up and I unlocked the door, and there stood Jerry, dripping wet. Bags everywhere, golf clubs all over the room. He said, I just got here, aloha. What happened, honey? It took me 2 hours to get from the airport to this hotel with these bags. Well, what happened? Did the cab get caught in traffic? I didn't come in a cab. I found a better way. I said, you came on that shuttle He said, I didn't come on the shuttle either. I came on the city bus. $1, no tip. Now, this might be a male-female thing. The women will have to tell me. This irritated me. I was not the one who did it, but this just irritated me. I said, I'm worn out, honey. Let's just go get something to eat and go to bed. He said, I found a place in the little book. We passed 6 nice restaurants in this hotel to go 3 blocks away to Denny's. But when we passed the bellman, one of them said, everything all right now, Mr. Robertson? It's a strange thing for a bellman to say. We ate and got back upstairs, and I said, honey, I got to go down to the gift shop and get something. I went down there and went up to the bell stand, the man there working. I said, excuse me, do you remember me? Yes, Mrs. Robertson, what can I do for you? I want to know what my husband did. Nothing, not a thing, nothing. No, I said, let me make sure you understand. We love each other dearly. We are best friends, but I just sense I'm missing something here. He said, Mrs. Robertson, are you aware that your husband came from the airport to this hotel with all that luggage on the city bus? I said, yes, I am. $1, no tip. He said, but Mrs. Robertson, are you aware that the city bus doesn't come to the Sheraton? The city bus stops 2 long blocks around that corner. He said, a bunch of us were up here, tourists everywhere, and we saw a man, your husband, come around the corner with golf clubs on his shoulder, carrying 2 bags, almost stumbling under the weight of the bags. People up here said, look at that, wonder where he's going. You think he's coming here? One woman says, is it a homeless person? He put those bags down and went and completely disappeared from sight. We watched the bags, and in a few minutes, he came back around the corner with 2 more bags, put them down, and turned to leave. Another bellman stepped up and said, but he never let those golf clubs out of his sight. This time, he disappeared and didn't come back for a long time, and when he did, he was dragging a trunk, had another suitcase, bags, and when he got to the first 4, he sidestepped and went on a little further and put them down and kept repeating the process till he got to the end of the first block and looked up here. We said, he is coming to the Sheraton. We went down to try to help him, but when we got 10 feet from him, he said, I can get it. I've got these bags. I don't need any help. No, I got them this far. The bellman said, Mrs. Robertson, could it have been that your husband didn't want to tip? Duh! I went straight upstairs. What you gonna do with the $19, honey? Go to Europe? But then he said, maybe the funniest thing I've ever heard Left Brain say. And this is what reminds me that things are just not going to change. I'm not and he's not. Because with complete sincerity, he said, it'll be easier going home because the bags won't be as heavy and there'll be 2 of us to take them down to the bus stop.